there, Dane Cash here. Before you go any further, I'm going to take a quick moment of your time to say that if you've ever considered becoming an Escape Collective member, now is a great time to do it. It's Tour de France season, and you won't want to miss our members-only shows over the next few weeks. You also won't want to hit a paywall when you're trying to read our racing analysis or our deep dives into tech. And on top of that, you can get your first month for just $1 right now. Head on over to escapecollective.com/TDF and sign up.
Welcome back to the Escape Collective Tour Daily Podcast, everybody. I'm Caley Fretz. Whoa. Good stage.
Good,
stage
great
9.
Stage
9. We're in TRWA.
Troyes.
If you want to say it that way, I guess.
TRWA.
Yeah, the gravel stage today was fantastic.
Did not disappoint.
Joining me to discuss it, Johnny Long.
Hi.
Iain Trellor.
Hey, hi.
Iain, what do you think?
What do I think? I had a lovely time. It's been a really good day's racing. I liked all of the dust. I liked all of the fact that everyone was just like hitting each other with attack after attack. The fact that Pogacar just kept going. The unlikely winner from a pretty good group at the front. A pretty good second group as well.
Are you sad for Jesper Stuyven?
Not really.
I saw him at the finish line. It made me sad.
Oh, was he sad at the finish line?
He was so sad, and it made me sad. And Amy, their press officer, was sad. And Tom's was sad. Everyone was sad.
Well, Jesper Stuyven has never won a Tour stage. I think he's come second before. So,
and he quite famously got caught within the last couple hundred meters. I think it was into Molde, and I cannot tell you what year it was, but I remember it happening, and I remember it being sad.
Okay, sad vibes.
But
sad vibes.
Being Belgian, he would understand. That's racing, huh?
He probably would.
And he probably go back to his chocolates eventually.
Yeah. So the stage was won by Anthony Turgis of Total Energies.
Yep.
So I think maybe they heard us talking about them last night. Although Turgis was not one of the ones that I mentioned as being here for no purpose other than
saw the rider riding around today.
Yeah, who was the one that I disparaged?
Jeudi Jagat.
Jordan Jagat.
Okay. Oh, Jeudi to his friends. My mistake.
Well, I didn't realize that you were friends.
We go way back.
Well, the three of them, he finished with two teammates, Mathieu Bergadou and Fabien Grelier, in 115th, 116th, 117th.
Love that.
So, he hasn't proven me wrong yet. But it was a fantastic day for Anthony Turgis. He's been going for a Tour de France stage win for quite some time.
Yeah.
He's been a breakaway guy for a very long time. He's 30 years old. He's raced 7 tours already, and this is his first stage win.
I mean, he's got... Coming with that final group, it's not like he doesn't have previous and he can sprint. At the Strade Bianche that Mohoric won, he won the sprint, right? Ahead of Van der Poel, I'm pretty sure.
I think a little result that a lot of people are forgetting about, including myself, is that he finished second at Milan-San Remo in 2022.
Oh, that's it. Sorry, not Strade Bianche, Milan-San Remo. Thank you for immediately correcting me. That's it, yeah.
That's fine. I feel like I did it gently.
Already. Yeah, so second at a monument.
Yeah.
He's got a serious kick on him.
Yeah,
you don't do that without being a very, very good rider. But he's been close a whole bunch, and this is the first really big one. I mean, you go down his list of wins.
Well, if you're French, it's like it's the only one that really matters, isn't it?
Paris-Chauny, Grand Prix Cycliste La Marseillaise.
All these races.
Tour of Luxembourg.
You don't need to go through these races. We know them. We've heard of them before.
Classique Loire Atlantique.
He's got a beard as well, and he used to room with Jeffrey Soup. So what we didn't ask in the press conference was whether they shared beard oil. Surprised you didn't ask that, actually, Ian.
You should have.
Disappointing.
Somewhat. I was too busy getting vibes at the Total Energies bus, so I missed the press conference. Asked if I could ask a question, and got told no, it is not possible.
What were the vibes like at the bus?
The vibes were immaculate.
Yeah.
You've never seen such
ecstatic
vibes. There were so many people crying.
Really?
Anthony Turgis was crying. So he literally, I was at the finish line. You guys were at the buses. I was at the finish line. So he crossed the finish line. His soigneur is right there. And, he comes up and he gets his drink, right? He gets his purple drink. They all drink the purple drink.
Tart cherry juice.
Cherry juice. And he drinks most of his purple drink. And then he's just sort of wandering back and forth. He wanders over to the fence. And then he wanders to the middle. And then he wanders to the fence. And then he wanders to the middle. And he just keeps, head in hands, like, I don't know what just happened to me.
Huh.
Half crying, half laughing. Like, it was great scenes. So by the time he got back to the bus, had he kind of, like, figured out that he was happy? Because when I saw him, couldn't really tell.
I didn't see him get back to the bus. I left before he got back to the bus because he was press conferencing.
Oh, right.
So he was answering questions for people somewhere where I was not. But I saw all of his teammates come across, which was pretty special, because the thing about Total Energies, as we discussed at length last night, is that they don't win a lot. They don't do a lot of things.
Like, pretty much ever.
In this particular case, they had Sandy Dujardin.
Well, he's the one who's he had a broken.
Not broken. A bruised wrist, a bruised bone.
On his arm, right?
Yeah, so he's riding with a cast.
Yeah, he was crying after yesterday's stages.
He was crying after today's stage
as well.
Of happiness.
Oh, happy. Okay, great.
Had a lovely little cuddle with his girlfriend.
Okay.
Him, not me.
Watch out, Davigodu.
No. It was very
included.
compassionate. Very compassionate. And quite romantic. I also spent some time with Steph Crass and his girlfriend and their Pomeranian, Pom. And they were very nice as well. This is the thing. You just talk to people about their dogs and they really open up. So I had a lot of
people speak English.
Well, this is the other thing. So it's been a real Total Energies day for me, because I started the day at the Total Energies bus trying to corner Matthew Bergadou for an interview for the second time in a row. And
he still didn't want to talk to you.
Still wouldn't talk to me.
He's become your Everest.
I've been told that maybe on Tuesday I might be able to talk to him. And I've also...
that seems like if I was a press officer, that's the kind of thing I would tell you.
Yeah.
With no intention of ever making that happen.
Yeah. Well,
Tuesday the 32nd of July.
But it wasn't a press officer I was talking to. I tried to speak to the press officer, and the press officer ran away.
Oh, good.
And then a French journalist who was standing next to me...
took pity.
Told me they're pretty useless here. Which I really liked. So I was speaking to a couple of staff
very good.
that understood English. So we had a nice little chat about the tactical advantage of, if they sign Julian Alaphilippe, whether there is a benefit to having two people that look the same with Matthew Bergadou. They thought that was good. So it was a nice chat. Anyway, to bring it back to the bike race, to pull a Caley frets there, I spent a lot of time grappling with people that were very French and didn't understand English today. But the few people that I did speak to were very generous with their time. I had a long chat with a sports director called Benoit, who told me all about how he'd been crying in the car. I spoke to a sponsorship woman who...
That's Benoit Genezo.
Nice man. I spoke to Steph Crass, who was also a very nice man. Spoke to a sponsorship woman who started crying so much whilst I was talking to her that she just walked off. So it was all...
This is great.
All vibes.
The vibes sound superb.
And I met Steph Crass's dog. What an afternoon.
There was just a fair amount of emotion with today's race. I think there were a lot of people who thought they could win today. And I think that tends to beget a lot of emotion at the finish line.
Yeah.
So Tom Pidcock thought he could win. Pretty emotional at the finish.
He was banging his handlebar straight across the line. Did a good sprint.
Yeah. But Turgis is a much better sprinter than him.
Yes. Well, Pidcock was in his interview as well, the one where he does get a bit emotional. Well, he doesn't get emotional. You can see he's holding it back. Like as he's finished, it's like hitting him how close he came.
Stiff upper lip, innit?
Exactly. Exactly. Weirdly, he did say as well. He's like explain why he maybe didn't win the sprint. He's like, I weighed 57 kilos this morning. So do they weigh themselves before they
probably
start the
almost
stage?
every day,
mid-stage as well.
Particularly the GC like climby types.
They just hop off mid-stage if they're doing a wee and measure how much comes out.
I'm not saying it's a good thing, but that they probably do it. Yeah.
Well, just to track if they're losing.
Yeah, they're just tracking it. They're just keeping an eye on because the other thing they're trying to keep an eye on is you can pick up like dehydration or overhydration or like inflammation. All that can be sort of tracked with weight.
57 kilos is tiny. By the way,
57 kilos is a very small amount of kilos.
It's like a big child.
Yeah.
Well, not even that.
Like I'm not a large human, and I weigh almost 10 kilos more than him.
Caley is dainty, isn't he?
You are dainty. I think we could both pick you up.
Yeah, I'm like 67, probably.
Wow.
Anyway, to continue down the list of sad people, Tom Pidcock, sad. Derek G,
Derek G, very sad.
Very sad.
Sad and sweary, which was great.
Sad and sweary.
Sweary, yeah. He said...
he was third.
I have a quote somewhere. I was just hanging out like a creep watching him roll up. Real dusty man.
Like what?
Hanging out like a creep watching him roll up. That's not a quote. That's what I was doing. Come on, Johnny.
I thought you said a Greek, and I was like, I've never heard this reference before.
Just slinging spanakopita.
Yeah.
At the Israel Premier Tech bus. No, he rolled up and gave Sylvan Adams a big hug. Shout out to Sylvan. He's here.
His World Champs jersey.
Really?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Have you not seen him?
Oh, God.
He's got his Masters World Champs jersey.
I can't get on with that. Nope.
He wasn't wearing a World Champs jersey. He was in civvies. But Derek G, to Sylvan Adams, it was close. Fuck, it was close. So that was good.
Good, concise swearing.
That's good. Yeah, that's good swearing.
And then when he was a little bit less sweary, and I got a microphone in front of him as opposed to...
I think we have new friends of the podcast to our left
They're
here.
taking a picture of us. I love that.
Yep.
I love when that happens. So when he was talking to the media without swearing to Sylvan Adams, he was talking about how it felt a little bit too much like the Giro stages last year, where he kept coming really close, but not quite close enough. So...
Yeah.
Tragedy for the Canadians.
I try not to throw around the term PTSD because it has like real connotations.
Real things,
but like what I don't know what the right word would be. Bad
Deja
memories.
vu.
Deja vu.
Yeah.
Because he did he came close 3 times. I think it was in that Giro.
Yeah.
Was second. I can see why that would be particularly rough. If we continue down the list, so that's the top 3. We had Turgi, Pidcock, Derek G, all out of that breakaway. Alex Armburu had a great ride for Movistar. Ben Healy made a late go of it for EF.
He's so fun to watch ride a bike.
He's
he just
great.
goes like his head bobs side to side.
And he's so
good.
aero. He's like next to Jasper Stuyven, it was like he was pushing half the watts and going the same speed. It was I'm not a big optimization guy, but I appreciate the lengths.
He does it in a way that's still kind of,
And he still races like a badass, right? Like he's attacking, he's off the front, he's doing all these things. He doesn't feel calculated. He's just done all the optimization ahead of time to make himself go as fast as possible, which I appreciate that kind of optimization. Alexei Lysenko was up there, and then Jasper Stuyven, which again, I like I said before, he was just a real bummed. He was just real bummed. I felt bad for him. Like I said, he's been close before. He's near the end of his career at this point. I would have to imagine. I mean, he's 32 years old. He's probably got maybe 3-4 years left, maybe less. He watched a tour stage win opportunity sort of flash before his eyes there. It looked for a while like he was going to take it. He had that sort of like 8, 9, 10 second gap for a while.
Yeah.
One of the things that I was speaking about with the Total Energies director was that this felt, it obviously felt like a classic day in the sense that it was on gravel, and that was exciting. But the way it was raced was very sort of everyone putting it all on the line, none of the sense of preserving anything for tomorrow, which kind of makes sense because it's rest day. But of that sort of top...
We were saving it for tomorrow, but they probably weren't.
No, we are...
We have a members-only podcast to make tomorrow that we need to be top form for.
I've been saving my legs since I got here.
Day by day. But of those sort of people in that top group of 8, Stuyven had a crack, Lutsenko had a crack, Healy had a crack, G had a crack.
It's because the only sprinter in the whole group was Turgi. So they're all like, shit, we need to be solo, or else this guy's going to beat us.
Yeah.
He's the only sprinter, but he's also one of the less-known names.
Yeah, but the directors would know. The directors would know. And
they got pro cycling stats up there like, God damn it, who's this French guy we have to worry about? Oh, no, he beat Mathieu Van der Poel at Milan San Remo. We're screwed. Go now.
Can we talk GC? Because there was a lot of action that was going on behind the breakaway as well.
Before that, can I just say a stat from Peter Cosin, cycling journalist, shared on Twitter?
Yeah. Friend of the podcast.
Of this Tour de France so far, from the UCI ranking of the teams, from the top 12 teams, they've won 2 stages, and the bottom 12 teams have won the other 7.
That's great. And we have 3 French winners already.
Yeah. Real underdog tour.
Didn't we go like 2 or 3 years without a French winner?
We went a while.
I can't remember the exact stat.
When Alaphilippe stopped winning.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. It was at least like I remember it being a big deal over here.
Yeah.
That people were freaking out. Great stat, by the way. Thanks, Pete Cousins, for... Do he tweet that? X that?
He tweeted it, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Pete. Peter. Let's get into the GC chat.
Yeah.
So behind all of this fun stuff that was happening up front, this very much sort of what we were predicting yesterday, which is that we had 2 races. We had the front race, we had the GC race. GC race is pretty good, right? We had, at one point, the top 3 in the race off the front together, right? Remco Evenepoel a little bit annoyed that Jonas Vingegaard and Pogačar wouldn't work with him. Makes complete sense that they wouldn't do that. In fact, we have a grab here from Matteo Jorgensen chatting with sort of a whole group of reporters. So you may have seen this on TV, but I'm not sure which channels it ended up on. So let's chuck it in here because Matteo really succinctly explains why they were not going to work with that move.
Fun but stressful. How stressful?
Yeah, I like I said, I don't think it was for us like so stressful because we had really like the strongest team for this stage. So we were in the front on every single sector, and we had confidence that we could basically get ourselves out of any problem. But yeah, it was still a difficult day.
It seemed on TV, yes, Visma had the numbers, Pog was isolated. At times, how did you think your team leader Jonas was riding? Was he doing okay all day, or was he paying the cost of being on someone else's bike?
No, he was doing incredible for this situation, like to have a different reach, different bars, different brakes, everything. Yeah, it was impressive to see, and then also he's just so light that on like gravel, it's really not suited for him, I think, but he did a really good job. I'm proud of him.
So many missiles were launched today, so many attacks. Can you even remember everything that happened today and just how hard and gnarly it was?
Yeah, it was a good day. Yeah, no, really satisfied. We got through the day, and yeah, we got through this this complicated moment when Jonas had to change on Jan's bike, and I'm just glad we got ourselves out of it. No, it was actually did not take any time at all. He jumped on Jan's bike because we knew that Jan had the same saddle height almost, so Jan had to stay like a bit behind him the whole day to make sure, and thankfully it went perfect. He took almost no time.
Can you describe the moment you were following Pogačar? That was quite a critical moment in this race.
Yeah, it was a critical moment for sure. I thought Jonas, when he went, I thought Jonas was in the wheel of me, and then yeah, I looked back a little bit too late, and he wasn't there. But I was really on the limit, so I had to take a few breaths in his wheel before I dropped back, and then we could get back to him. But yeah, it ended up all okay.
Did you ever think of dropping Evenepoel and earlier on Roglic more than you did? You didn't take over?
No, we did cause a split with Yuso and Primoz early, and yeah, just the other teams weren't so interested in helping us bring the gap out, and there was so far to go that it wasn't going to go really anywhere.
Matteo, just on that, with Roglic and Remco behind with about 10k to go, you and Jonas on Tadej's wheel, just explain the decision not to sort of persist with that, because again, people will say, well, Roglic and Remco were struggling at that point, you could have eliminated them.
Yeah, but the rival of the tour is Pogačar, and yeah, we weren't gonna ride with Pogačar in our wheel and have Wout and Kristoff behind us. That's just not smart at all. So we just had to play it smart.
Not only that move, but actually like any move today. But basically, I think it was pretty clear that Matteo and Jonas were just sort of tasked with just stay with the front, and that's all you really have to do. Pogačar was fun though.
So fun. I mean, in his quotes afterwards, he was just like, "Yeah, the first week's been kind of easy." Was it easy that he actually used? Did he actually use the word easy?
He didn't. I don't think he used the word easy.
It's been like, but that was the.
But the gist of it was definitely, I haven't had to do that much. Hasn't been that hard. So and then even today, he was just like they were like, "Well, why were you? You were active. Why were you attacking?" And he's like, "Well, because when it's dusty, you want to be in the front." So I just went to the front.
Get it done with.
Yeah, just like went fast and just, he very much downplayed. He made it sound today like today was no big deal. And then the whole first week was no big deal. He's basically like, I'm just waiting for it to go big mountains, because I'm just like good. Hanging out until that point when we can finally go up the big mountains.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe he sensed that as Jonas still maybe tries to ride himself into this race, or doesn't show the form to necessarily take on Pogačar potentially. He's like, well, if I just put the hammer down when I'm feeling great, then you never know what could happen. There's chaos if Vingegaard is poorly positioned.
There was that moment that Matteo referenced where Pogačar went and Jorgensen thought that Jonas was on his wheel, and he wasn't. Right? So like there were moments where that it would have been entirely possible that Pogačar just sort of rode away today.
Jorgensen got massive congrats from the Visma Spike staff back at the bus when he arrived. I think the press is either the press officer or an American fan there. It's hard to tell, but someone called him a hero, which maybe he's overplaying it slightly.
It sounds about par for the course for an American watching an American.
Or from the Visma Spike press officer.
Either one. Either one. He was. I wouldn't call him a hero, but the actions were heroic today.
Yeah.
He pulled that whole thing back together a couple different times.
Yeah.
He was a great domestique for Jonas Vingegaard. Like, yes, I think that team is really missing Sepp Kuss. They're really missing like any sort of just elite climbing talent as a domestique. But Jorgensen can do a fair amount of that and can also do the stuff today, and that is a pretty rare thing.
Another good domestique for Visma Spike today was Jan Tratnik, who lent Jonas Vingegaard his bike for most of the race.
Yeah.
Because then it was so
Vingegaard finished on Tratnik's bike.
Well, and this is something Jan Tratnik was talking at the end. This is something that they had sort of thought could happen beforehand. Often they do it in the sprint stages as well, like the normal sprint stages.
Yeah.
That they're fairly similar sizes. Jonas has even ridden Tratnik's bike at training camp just to check that everything like kind of works, and then he can do it. So they're like, okay, fine, you can just ride that to the finish, and
their saddle height is almost identical.
So that's fine. And Vingegaard even warmed down on Tratnik's bike. Which was a bit
that
weird.
Seems unnecessary.
And then when he finishes warm down, Tratnik was talking to the media, and Vingegaard just goes behind him and puts Tratnik's garment into his back pocket, which is kind of fun. And he was like, "Oh, I've got his data now. Great."
So, so we need to go check and see if Tratnik got any KOMs, because those are actually Vingegaard KOMs,
and
we need to flag that on Strava.
Flags? I don't know.
Gotta flag them on Strava.
Right? I don't know. Yeah, that'd be fun. But yeah, they were like. And then at the end, Jonas, because they sort of talk about the stage, and then at the end it was sort of a closing question on this week and how it's gone, and he gave an interesting answer where he was like, you know what, since my crash, I've kind of realised that there are other things that are important as well as cycling and racing, and so I don't think he's letting himself get too stressed out of it. Maybe he was putting on a performance, but it seemed genuine, and he was just like, yeah, well, at least I'm still doing this, I'm pretty good, so why worry about being a minute behind Pogačar?
Well, and I think that in terms of sort of entertainment value for the rest of us, right? Because that's fundamentally what the Tour is. It's a big show. We're in a pretty good place, right? We're entering the first rest day. There was real concern that by this point we would already have, Pogačar would have 5 minutes or something, right?
Yeah.
Like he would have blown everyone away in the Galibier, and it would just be like done. And that's not really the case. Now I think it's looking pretty likely that Pogačar is the strongest rider in this race, that he will probably, knock on, I don't want to jinx him here, but, take yellow, take it all the way to Nice. I guess my point being that still anything can happen. It's still only a minute, right? Remco Evenepoel is looking actually really good. I think you were speaking with Rolf Aldag today, and Rolf said that he thinks Remco will probably collapse at least one day.
Yeah, well, they were talking about Roglic, and the vibes at the Red Bull Bora-Hansgrohe bus weren't amazing. They were kind of like, well, we still don't really know what to make of Roglic. Like,
yeah.
He's only like a minute and a half behind Pogačar on GC, which isn't bad. But he kind of like today, he was like had to chase back on a couple of times, and early on he had to chase back on. So they were like, we don't really know like what's going on there.
That's not a good sign.
Because the vibe started high for Red Bull Bora-Hansgrohe.
Yeah.
Kind of maybe.
Well, Marco Haller's vibes are still really high.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Permanently high.
He's got a face like a golf ball. Who doesn't want that? Remco's attack 75 kilometers out was great. Like
fantastic.
Every day, Remco stock just keeps getting higher.
Yeah.
Like every day, you're like, oh, maybe this is the point where I should start selling. And no, hold on, because
I'm into Remco this race.
It's great.
Like, so we came into this today. We came in today because he's actually struggled on these sort of courses before, right? The most famous one was the Giro that he came into, and everyone was like, he's going to win the Giro, and then he lost like huge amounts of time on that gravel stage. Didn't like it at all. He proved pretty capable today.
Yeah.
And he was aggressive, and he wanted to go for it, and he was the only one of the three GC guys. I mean, it was pretty clear that, Pogačar did a couple like late attacks and did some little fun stuff.
Not the same sort of attack as that Remco one was.
He was the only one that came in with a plan to take time today. Pogačar and Vingegaard were basically like, okay, we're gonna follow wheels. We're gonna see what happens.
Yeah.
We're gonna get through this without incident. And Remco came in. I'm gonna do this, and you have to appreciate that.
He was kind of annoyed at the end. I think his interview with France TV, he was like, "Well, if we just all worked together, then we could have the race would have been over. We could have got 3 or 4 minutes."
Well,
but the problem is he's the one to benefit the most from that situation because a podium place for him would be amazing.
We played that Jorgensen quote before, right? Like Visma does not view Remco as a threat.
No,
really. They at least not a threat for winning the bike race.
So they're never going to help.
So they're never going to help. And like what really? I mean, Pogacar might do it just for like Bance. He's a Bance-driven rider generally. But still, I mean, that really only works for Remco.
Yeah,
all it really does is it separates him from Roglic.
Yeah.
And why on earth would Vingegaard and Pogacar?
Out of spite.
Maybe. Possibly.
But yeah, good. Tadej seems relaxed. Jonas seems
resigned.
Tranquil and maybe a bit resigned. And Remco just seems very eager and maybe just quite high on the fact that he's actually proven to be good this tour.
Yeah.
Because I think there was a lot of question marks over him and
hasn't disappointed anybody yet.
No, and he's managed to keep it fairly like level-headed and not, end up having a freak out or anything like that. So, good stuff. Right, well, now we've talked about the real bike race. Should we come back after a little break with the Maillot Sablé?
Yeah, I think we need to figure out the exit of our dinner here, and then we'll be right back.
Got it. So, Maillot Sablé. First of all, before we get to today's, this morning managed to talk
to the
right? Lovely wearer of the jersey today. Bart Lemon of Visma Lease Bike. Lovely man. Let's hear from him now. Welcome to the podcast, Bart Lemon, Visma Lease Bike. First of all, easy one. How's your Tour de France going so far?
It's been okay up until now. My legs actually feel quite good, even though the rest day is a warm welcome tomorrow.
Now, on our podcast, we've invented a new jersey. It's called the Maillot Sablé, which is the sand jersey, and it's for the rider who's the closest to an hour on GC, but they have to be over.
Okay, yeah.
So, congratulations, yesterday. You won it, and you're in it today.
Okay, so
nice. We want to know, firstly, how much of an honour is it to wear this jersey? And secondly, as well as helping, Jonas try and win the yellow jersey, will you be fighting for the Maillot Sablé all the way to Nice?
I don't think I would be fighting for it. I'm sorry. It's just, for me, it's not a surprise, but my job is to protect Jonas, and the time loss that comes with it, I don't look at it. Just as long as it's not an out-of-time limit.
Thank you, Bart. Have a good day. Understandably, he's not focused on the Maillot Sablé, even if he was honoured to wear it today. And he's got Jonas Vingegaard to look after. It's his first tour. He wasn't even really supposed to be riding it, so we did
a lovely piece on Bart. Jose Ben did a lovely piece on Bart. So if you want to go find out more about him, go read that. Maybe that's why he likes us. Maybe that's why he played ball there.
I couldn't tell whether I think he's being polite when I was like, we're Escape Collector podcast. He's like, oh. But then Dutch people don't usually do that.
Yeah. Maybe he's heard of it. Maybe he listens.
Or exclaim in a way to be like, oh, okay.
Yes. Invite further questions as opposed to shutting it down.
Yes.
So how do we test this? Bart, if you're listening, make a funny hand gesture next time you see Johnny.
Turn that lemon into lemonade.
Yeah.
Maybe make a face like you just bit a lemon.
Yes. Good one. Today's Maillot Sablé.
Today's Maillot Sablé. Who's there?
Oh. It's a French rider. They're having quite the tour. It is Decathlon Étoile Mondiale. So that means in order to get our access to this man on Tuesday, we'll get to talk to Muggers himself.
Muggers being Pierre Muglac, our favourite French press officer.
Last year's winner of the favourite press officer.
Well, favourite
was
ASO
he?
last year.
Yeah. Favorite ASO. Yeah, because he wasn't a press officer last year. He was ASO.
He could be the first ever one to unite the belts.
Oof.
Their heavyweight titles.
Yeah.
Wow, that's something to look forward
Christoph to. is a clear leader in the favorite ASO.
Oh,
Christoph Morel. Okay, today we were we're obviously in a gymnasium for the press officer for the.
It's nice and cool in TRWA today, and the gymnasium was not
hugely. It's like
hugely not nice and cool.
But it was also so bright somehow, and so
I was
were all
wearing
sitting there watching
sunglasses
trying
inside.
to type on laptops, and Christoph Morel was leaned back with proper cycling glasses on, just in his white polo, and it was great.
At one point, I looked back and he had a bottle of iced mint tea balanced on his head for probably 30 seconds. I looked away and I thought he was just doing it for jollies. Looked back, nobody around him had clocked it. He was just still doing it.
I think we need There's some singing going in the background. I don't think you can probably hear
some
it.
of my lot. I'm really sorry.
But I do think that we need to, for the benefit of anybody who wasn't around and listening carefully to the entirety of last year's Tour de France podcast, who is Christophe Morel and what are we doing?
Why are we so fascinated?
Why are we so fascinated?
Should we start with a physical description so that they can picture it?
We did talk about this the other day and how he smokes his cigarettes. I think you hadn't turned up yet.
Oh, well, he smokes his cigarettes like he absolutely hates them and wants to get through them as quickly as he possibly can.
He's basically, his job is to look after all the not look after the journalists, make sure they don't get themselves in trouble. And
he does a pretty good job of it.
He does a great job.
He is good.
He's helped us out for some antics we're going to get up to next week.
He sent me he showed me the video yesterday that I was talking about with Sweet Baby Kevin.
Oh, yes.
That is the press officer that I was, or the ASO staffer that I was talking about.
Anyway, the Maillot, not the Maillot, the Maillot Sablé for Tuesday, Nicolas Prudhomme.
Nicolas Prudhomme. No relation to
not as far Prudhomme,
the director of the entire tournament.
Spelled differently.
Place, 1 hour and 57 seconds. Yeah, Prudhomme.
Prudhomme.
And Nicolas Prudhomme.
Prod the man instead of Prude the man.
Prodder.
Yeah.
Man Prodder.
Yep.
So that's fun. Maybe he speaks English. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe Pierre will be able to translate. He's from L'Aigle, which is northwest of here.
Victor Campenaerts missed out.
Yes.
Just barely. Bummer for him.
He could get in a breakaway and make it up. Maybe. Not sure.
Yeah. And Jordan Jagat, the man that I disparaged massively, is sort of next in line here.
Yeah, he's a nice little man.
Wow.
Yeah, I was...
Jagat?
Yeah.
Jagat?
Well, I've actually both nice little men.
Yeah?
Victor Campenaerts,
he's great.
I had a lovely little chat to him yesterday and learnt that not only is he a very recent father, as in 3 weeks ago.
Wow. Congrats.
But his child is here, and his wife or partner was at an altitude training camp with him for the last 9 weeks of the pregnancy, went into labour at altitude, and then they hooned down the mountain to Granada to give birth to the baby.
Wow. That seems silly.
I mean, you can have babies at altitude.
Well, I'm sure
My
you
wife's
can.
had 2 at about 2,000 meters.
But maybe there wasn't a hospital at some shitty team hotel.
This is the start of the Durango, Colorado tourism advertisement for this year's tour. Do you remember last year?
The thing about Durango, Colorado is that it's the air is so fresh and clean. The mountain view is so magnificent.
Wait, this is a song they sang to close out the tour of Guangxi last year.
They are at higher risk for what's the thing that turns babies yellow? Jaundice. Higher risk for jaundice if they're born at a high altitude because of something about they have high hematocrits or something.
Okay.
But then
my children have exceptionally high hematocrits.
Well, I was going to say, imagine if one of them wins the Tour de France in the future, the L'Equipe article can start, they were born yellow.
Or a Coldplay song.
Good Miles Sable update. Thank you.
And the characters who could be putting it on in stages to come, some of them would really raise quite the not the fuss. They'd be great to have on the show.
I got a real feel that Victor Campenaerts would be all about it.
I'm not sure.
No, he's not. But he's already passed it.
Yeah, but you said that if he gets in a breakaway.
Yeah, Mathieu Van Der Poel would be great. I think he would get it. I've had a couple of, not run-ins with him, but
Alberto
stupid things when he gets
Alberto
it.
Bettiol is currently at 49.57.
Harold Tejada, Ronan's mate.
Yep.
Imagine trying to explain to him that we're Ronan's mate and also that he's got the Maya Sabler.
How is Ronan friends with Harold Tejada?
Jungle Bob is on his way.
We'll explain afterwards because the podcast people have already heard it.
Okay.
It's a great story.
I'm really excited because Harold Tejada I find quite mesmerising as an individual.
You're about to think about how mesmerising you find him now and times that by 10.
Oh, this is so good.
Yeah, it's great.
Can't wait.
Boys, are we done with the Miles Sable section?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Should have been done 5 minutes ago.
We never set the scene.
Oh yeah.
And as I've been wont to do, I've been
Ian's here now, so
I've been setting the scene later and later in the show because it kind of slows things down a bit.
I don't think we've actually done it for the past 4 days.
But we should fully set the scene here. So Ian,
we are in TRWA. We are in a pizza restaurant, which is pizza bar. There's a big flashing neon sign that says pizza bar. I was about to say that the pizza was a bit shit, but there was an employee walking past at the time, so I just spun it out. But the pizza was a bit shit. What else? We had a couple of Germans next to us at the table that were taking selfies with us in them.
Give me visually.
Okay,
visual.
Yeah, I can. He dressed like he's got posters of Pitbull on the wall of his bedroom.
Oh, the Germans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he had
Mr. Worldwide himself.
Yeah, it was like Mr. Worldwide with hair and German. And then his mate was like his little. Like,
this
Richard
is
Hammond.
Timber.
His mate was like little Richard Hammond glasses guy who was like egging him on for everything he did.
Yeah. Yeah, there was definitely a rowdy one. And
they took a selfie with us.
Yeah.
We just didn't even stop.
At one point, you had to tell them to stop talking to you because you were trying to do some work. Which was very father of two of you.
I did apologize. I said sorry.
Oh, no, you didn't. You dealt with them very nicely. It was just funny.
They kept being surprised with the geographic dispersion of the three of us.
Yeah,
actually, a lot of people are very confused by that because it's like
they presume us English-speaking folk have all got to be from the same place.
Yep.
Have you ever seen one of those nature documentary type shows, which is like Unlikely Animal Friends?
No.
Where it's like an ostrich and its best friend is a cat, and the cat rides around on it.
But you guys have weird animals, so this happens like in the rest of the world.
Yeah, Johnny's people killed all the animals hundreds of years ago.
But anyway, my point is that the reaction that the French or the Germans get when we announce that we are one from Australia, one from England, one from the United States.
The start of a bad joke setup.
Yeah. We are the Unlikely Animal Friends of the cycling podcast world.
And we now have the name of the episode.
Unlikely Animal Friends.
Yep.
Perfect.
Great.
Before we get after dark, did you guys? I know we were very focused on the Tour today. Did you clock the fact that the Giro started today?
Yep.
Heck yeah! I even know who won.
Who won?
Is that a spoiler?
No.
No, because we're about to hear.
We're about to hear Abby. Yeah.
It is only the most Italian of the Italian riders, Elisa Longo Borghini.
Elisa Longo Borghini did win the opening time trial at the Giro. Great stage. And yeah, Abby's going to be providing little updates for us on what's going on over at the Giro, including a diary from Lizzie Dinan. So let's jump over to Abby.
14.6 kilometers long, with one little climb that included a quick little descent with some cobbled switchbacks in it. So it wasn't just a straightforward time trial. There were some obstacles. Won by Elisa Longo Borghini, the former Italian national champion on the time trial bike, which we'll mention probably more details in a second. With Grace Brown coming in second, 1 second behind her. It was real close. And then Brody Chapman coming in for third, 13 seconds later. What an amazing ride from Elisa. I think we probably should have seen this coming when she had such a strong, flat performance in the Tour de Suisse. Like, remember in the Tour de Suisse, she was over 30 seconds ahead of Demi on the flat section before they changed bikes and did the climb for the second half of the time trial. And so we knew she was in good form. She won the national championships in Italy, but was disqualified after the race because her follow car was too close to her. So she had the fastest time, but she's not the Italian national champ for the time trial. But then turned around and put in an incredible performance the next day with a 35, kilometer long solo attack to win the road race. So we knew the form was there. And I think the biggest thing is that the first pink jersey of the race is on the shoulders of an Italian. And her quote after the race was just stunning. She said it was really emotional for an Italian to wear the Maglia Rosa. It's a really big deal. And she mentioned that last year was really hard and she wanted to give this first stage a really good go and see how it went, and that it was a dream come true to be wearing the pink jersey.
And I love how she comments what her husband's, she was like speaking to her husband the night before, saying she was going to go out of the gates like a rocket. And he was like, hold up. Just stick to the pacing plan. And she gave him just, a really sweet shout out for taking his advice. And yeah, she's in incredible form. She's had a fantastic year, and I guess we kind of expected this from her, but I definitely have my money on Grace Brown, considering that the Olympics are just around the corner. But some good points made in the preview podcast from you, Tilda, and Sarah Gigante. I don't know if anyone expected so much of a difference in times between the GC contenders, which we're going to get into, because I think even Tilda was saying when it's about 15 kilometers, it's kind of a weird distance. It's not a full time trial distance. So sometimes you can get not a surprise ride from someone, but someone who might not perform in a 30K time trial can do really well here because it can there's a big difference between a 20-minute effort and a 40-minute effort. But not really surprised by this. But at the same time, I really wanted to see. I would have been happy if Grace had won too, must say.
I mean, I would have been happy if Brody won too, but I'm just thrilled to see Eliza win. And for Little Chuck to have 2 on the podium on the first stage bodes well.
Yeah. Brody is flying.
We have an audio diary from Brody and Eliza's teammate, Lizzie Dagnan, who compared riding a time trial to swimming. She said, for her, it might as well be a different sport. So let's hear from Lizzie really quick.
So today started with a 15-kilometre time trial. I think as a team, we didn't really expect there to be too many gaps GC-wise. So it was more about just focusing on the individual aspect of the performance and not thinking too far ahead. But actually seeing the results, there was already a couple of gaps to some GC riders. And Elisa did an amazing performance and secured pink, which is really cool. And then, a special shout out to Brody as well. She came third and did a really good time trial. So I think we're in a really good place as a team. The time trial itself was quite technical towards the end, a couple of cobble corners on a downhill, and there wasn't that many opportunities to recover apart from on the downhill, which was quite technical. So personally, I found it not a very fun time trial. I don't enjoy them at the best of times, but today was a real power struggle for me. So either way, I'm happy that day is behind us and that we have pink now. So there's lots of good positive things to look forward to. Tomorrow should be a sprint stage, so I guess we'll be thinking about taking Elisa Balsamo to the line, hopefully in a good position, and also obviously looking after Elisa Longoborghini in the pink. So all to play for still.
As always, make sure you are subscribed to the Wheel Talk podcast. You will be getting a whole lot more Giro this week. And then, of course, you want to be subscribed to that well ahead of the Tour de France Femme, which is coming up in almost exactly a month's time, a little over a month's time. You want to be making sure you're getting that Wheel Talk podcast. So head over, search Wheel Talk wherever you get your pods. Make sure you're subscribed. It's not going to drop into the main free feed that we used to do. So just as a reminder. We actually don't have a Jose segment for tomorrow because tomorrow's rest day.
Of course.
Great sadness. Yeah.
Can we make one up?
In Orléans. Old Orleans, which is based off of New Orleans.
Which one came first?
The new one.
Oh,
yeah.
That makes sense.
This is causing me so much pain. You're doing a reverse Kit Kat situation again, and I can't stand it.
So the French just loved their recent trips to Louisiana and said we must name a city after this beautiful...
You guys gave them the Eiffel Tower as well, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yep. They did give us the Statue of Liberty, so we traded.
Do you think we can have gumbo for dinner tomorrow?
We could have gumbo dinner in Orleans. In Old Orleans.
Just some real...
Old Orleans.
What's the big street they have in New Orleans where you go drinking? Bourbon Street?
Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
And then there's there's another... we went down there a couple years ago.
They've got Old Bourbon Street in Old Orleans.
And the music scene is unbelievable. So let's see if Old Orleans can handle it.
Can't watch Jameis Winston defies coach's orders anymore at an NFL game though, which is sad. Have you ever been introduced to Jameis Winston, Ian? You'd actually love him.
That was a deep cut.
No.
He is mental, in a good way. That was Talking Ball Sports.
All right, now it is time to go After Dark. Of course, this is where we switch over from the free feed to the members-only feed. As a reminder, you can Google Escape Collective Members Podcast, and you'll find this page.
Or you could ask Jeeves.
And if you're logged in, you could ask Jeeves if you want to. Bing, perhaps. If you're logged in, then you can open this page, and then you can get the members-only podcast with a link. If you're not logged in, you can't see this page at all.
Joke's on you.
Sign up for $1.
Sign up for $1.
$1? $1?
Yeah, I know.
$1.
What can you get for $1 these days?
I reckon you could probably get one of those Charles de Gaulle memorial lighters from the Charles de Gaulle Museum.
No, much
I
more
bet
than
they're €3.
I think more than that, €3.
Yeah.
In Australia, the unit of measurement of what is something cheap used to be the 30-cent cone from McDonald's, which we had yesterday, McDonald's, for lunch, just to let you behind the curtain
French
a little bit more.
It was pretty good.
It was good.
Yeah, you guys had the big sauce. What did you have?
No, I had the Chicago Classic.
Chicago Classic.
And we ordered through a drive-through, which is trepidatious and very stressful.
Anyway, the 30-cent cone used to be our measure of value, and the 30-cent cone is now a $1 cone, which is the same cost as an entire month of Escape Collective membership, and we won't melt on your fingers and make you sticky.
In the UK, it was Freddo bars, little chocolate bars, and they used to be like 10p, then they went up to 30p, and now they're like 20p. So it's actually an inflationary indicator.
That's the cost of living is...
Cause he lives, mate.
Cause he lives. And our membership prices are coming down. That's not sound business.
I mean, not really.
Well, for this month.
For 1 month.
We're hooking them in. We're hooking them in, getting them addicted to good stuff. And
then the old lost leader.
Yeah, and then they're like, ooh, I can read this website every day and not have any ads, and I can listen to the podcast.
And then if it expires, I don't pay, then there's like a sad longing and a hole in their lives that used to be filled with happiness.
And then they just go and have a sad McDonald's soft serve and drip all over themselves in the car.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
by the way,
escapecollective.com.
Before we do go to After Dark, we have a bunch more questions that have come in, and they are great. And
good.
Tomorrow is rest day, and we're going to spend much time answering questions.
We've got another couple of things to do tomorrow, which will become clear later in the week.
Yep.
Maybe as soon as tomorrow, maybe not. Very exciting.
Big things. We're going After Dark.